So a lot of clubs that wanted to initiate activities that they maybe hadn't planned until the spring, unfortunately couldn't get funding. But in a key way to address this, though, is that in the past there has been ways in which organization affairs is actually separated out for semesters, and then there'd be left over. But a way to tackle both of these problems simultaneously is that I would ensure that organizations are perhaps surveyed or data is collected to find out what kind of money we can expect to be utilized with each semester by looking at past patterns and understanding how clubs are active and in what ways for both semesters.
We had a buy-in for the amount of t-shirts or the amount of food that a club or organization could buy. It wasn't a very large buy-in, but just a small little buy-in so that we could make the funds go as far as possible for as long as possible. And so that $5 buy-in for a shirt multiplied by 30 for a club or organization adds up depending on how many clubs or organizations we actually saw this year.
Make sure that each organization gets the amount of funds that they need based on their activities or events that they are planning by holding kind of meetings and making sure that I communicate with all the different organizations on campus.
If you're more new, or let's say you're very much different on campus as a student organization, it can be a little bit of a different story. So I guess just creating more direct marketing in order to ensure that student organizations from different types of, I guess, student organization subjects and matters that they'll deal with, make sure that they're directly approached about it.
We do not discriminate between any club or organization here on campus. We funded LGBT groups, we funded Democratic groups, we funded Republican groups.
But Boise State is diversity, and it's something to be embraced, whether it's with people or cultures or, in this case, organizations. So I believe that equality here is very key. Just making sure that everyone feels like they are being helped out.
So the first one would be like that funding board advocacy that we talked a little bit about earlier with, of course, working on past patterns and data and everything else like that in order to ensure that funding board advocacy is more consistent and that we can spread it throughout the year. That's the first thing. But the second thing is really making sure that student organizations are made aware and connected to not just campus, but students themselves, which are really integral parts since they make up the membership and they attend these events. And so some of the ways of doing this is working with ASBSU itself, of course, and then Student Assembly, the Student Involvement Leadership Center, and then other aspects of campus too, in order to ensure that student organizations have more opportunities to engage and do it more frequently.
The direction that I want to take with this position is really pretty much what we're all saying here is we're trying to make the money go as far and make it last as long as possible. So, and what I want to do, and how I want to do that is kind of what I've said before, just finding ways that we can reduce costs for different clubs and organizations here and affect as many Boise State students and allow their passions to become realities.
I would definitely take a better stand on funding and making sure that we make sure that everyone feels like they are a part of our community here and that they don't feel left out and that they are included. And doing this, I would definitely maintain spirit throughout all of the organizations so that they can continue to benefit our community as Boise State students.
Why I'm running for this position is because I really love seeing the passions that Boise State students have come to life. And this year I had the privilege of serving on the funding board as a funding board officer. A funding board officer serves under the Secretary of Student Organization Affairs. And what was really awesome this year was getting to see every club and organization come through ASBSU and then walking around campus and seeing all these different events that we funded actually come to life. Like the most notable one was for me is the Airsoft Club, and just seeing them have fun with all of their new equipment, or the Boise State Slackers with their new lines really makes me proud to be a Bronco and makes me want to run for this position. Thank you.
I am so excited to be part of ASBSU this year. Next year, and to utilize my past experiences to positively impact the various student organizations here on campus. And I hope to bring unbridled enthusiasm with Bronco spirit.
I essentially know that I'll make your voice heard and represent student organizations on issues like student board funding efficacy and connecting student orgs to students in much needed ways. Because when you vote for me, you're putting in a vote for someone who's aware of the issues student orgs face, dedicated to making this campus greater, and ultimately, most importantly, someone who can represent students from every walk of life and corner of campus. And I believe I can earn your vote. So go with the float and make the right choice. Thank you.
And thank you guys so much. Let's hear it for our candidates for student organization.